Ttt Throwdown!
On this week's Throwdown, we have Marvelous Mia demo the workout.
Again, sorry everybody. This week's Throwdown is 2 minutes on, 1 minute off for 5 sets with a buy-in of 15 cals on the rower for the guys, 12 for the girls, 9 deadlifts, and then an Amrap of ring muscle-ups in the remaining time.
We release these workouts right here on YouTube every Thursday at 1.
For a warm-up, movement standards, and a scaled version of this workout, look in the link down below. Look in the description. There's a link there down below. Yeah.
Let's see it.
Yeah, buddy.
Chris was blocking the clock.
All right, we're back on.
Oh, man, Mia was so upset because she's trying to watch the clock in this workout, and Chris was standing right in front of it. So she's like, get out of the way.
I think I said, can you please not block the clock for my words?
Your eyes said something different, Mia.
Yeah, I've seen some angry people at the games do that, like freaking wave judges off or something.
All right, so you already talked about the pacing on the row, but what was your pace when you started the first set?
I was in the 1100s for almost the entire workout. There were like a few pulls that would drop into the high thousands, but mostly 1100, which felt fairly comfortable.
Yeah.
Would you advise using the Trevor tug for your first pull?
I mean, probably. But I didn't.
All right. And then you Brandon said in the intro, you took an interesting strategy to drop and do threes here.
I love a deadlift break because the bar has to go back to the ground anyways, so just let gravity do it. It helps save my grip.
I hate a deadlift break.
Really?
Feel like
You like to get in a rhythm?
And because breaking the first deadlift off the floor, I feel like for me is the hardest.
Well, the bar's a little bit lighter, right? So it's not like a 315, 225 bar. So I think breaks for most people make sense, and it'll save your grip too. Maybe the first round's easy, but after that, it is grippy. You're going row into deadlift into muscle-ups.
Yeah. So she finished that work with that row pace and those breaks at about a minute, and then rested about 15 seconds before jumping up to do the muscle-ups. Mia is a elite gymnast, but at the lower level of elite. I mean, relative to people watching, I think you're pretty good at muscle-ups, no?
I don't know.
Sub-elite.
I do think it's important, though, Mia. You had a plan in place, right? You knew how many you wanted to get in the first round, and so that's why you waited to start your first set, as opposed to maybe someone that's going to rush to the rings and then blow up early.
Yeah, I knew. I've done enough ring work that I know a 15-second break into a set, I think I opened with 5, is like, that feels pretty quick for me.
Yeah.
So faster than that, I probably wouldn't have been able to hit 5 to start. And with that minute, I wanted to bank. My goal was to get 30, so I wanted to bank a few at the front end because I knew I was probably going to fall off.
That was so disorienting to go fast. Were you 5 and 2?
5 and 2, yeah.
5
So
and 2.
7 on the
seven
first
to
round.
start. And did you maintain row pace? Did the row?
Yeah.
I know we're maybe jumping ahead, but
Yeah.
did the row get hard at all, or is it just all muscle ups?
It was all muscle ups, and I was expecting the 1 minute rest to start feeling really short, and it never did. It felt pretty comfortable, but it didn't make my muscle ups feel like they still got harder, even though I wasn't under much fatigue aside from just the muscle ups themselves.
Now, I will say that Mia is in pretty good shape. So for those that maybe are just coming off of a longer break or aren't as fit as Mia, the row and the deadlift will impact more than you think. For her, probably not as much.
Yeah, it is kind of, it's off season for almost everybody, and I think this format, just the deadlift is challenging, but it's not as explosive as a power snatch.
Yeah.
The row is kind of moderated in pace because you have to do muscle ups, and there's some rest breaks into it. So this workout isn't really like a pain tolerance toughness type workout. It's a pacing strategy and kind of running your race. The elite level, it would still probably be pretty breathy because they're going to be doing a lot of muscle ups every round. But for most people, that's just unrealistic in this format.
So that second round looked exactly like the first one, getting to the muscle ups. Let's see what happens. You do 5 again? Surprise.
I think so.
3 and 4
Yep. And so same
5,
time.
solid.
Yeah, started at the 15-second mark, finished at the 30-ish second mark, and now you're going to do one more set. This is going to work really well for people to do smaller sets and try to just break them up quickly in that, let's say, minute that you have left after the deadlift, as opposed to trying to do one big set. I think for most people, they'll do one big set in the first round, and they're already blown up out of the dip or in their pool going into the second and third round.
And that's what I wanted to do, and then Brandon told me not to, so I listened to him.
You just
Hey,
did. So you did. You ended that first muscle up set around 30, and then rested about 20 seconds. Did you watch the clock to do that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you're on basically a 20-second rest break on purpose.
Yeah.
All right.
That's why she was yelling at Chris to get out of the way of the clock.
I was not yelling.
She was screaming so loud.
I've never heard Mia yell.
Just kidding.
Oh, and now we got the pace. Shout out Chris for getting the pace.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. That's not 1100.
Yeah.
There we go.
That looks
Get back
pretty
into
easy and smooth to be rowing that fast, Mia.
It felt pretty good.
Yeah. The 1 minute rest was
Look at
enough.
that view of the clock, though. I mean,
Unobstructed.
We
Yeah.
got double clocks now.
What?
Yeah.
Who's the
I mean,
director
so
that has great like screen stuff? Is it the guy that did the Batman movie? Sorry.
I always use Michael Bay.
yeah, Michael Bay. Michael
yeah.
Bay's good.
Go ahead.
I'll talk about it. Next row, remind me to talk about
Oh,
the
you
row.
you want to be serious now? All
No, just
This is my workout.
we've moved on.
right, fine.
So same exact time off the row again. Very consistent. Sets of 3.
Same
again.
strategy on
Yeah.
the deads. I think this weight for most competitors is not going to be a weight that holds anyone back. It's just going to be how do you want to break it to kind of maximize your overall score.
Yeah, I did start feeling some grip fatigue, and that will become a limiter for me on muscle ups. So I'm glad when I got to this round, I was like, I'm glad I did 3s. To start out, I was like, maybe this is a little too conservative, but it ended up working out.
And there'll be people that go unbroken on that. It's a lot of people that like deadlift. I love
sure.
deadlifts, and I probably would go unbroken on a couple sets, but I really like forcing people to take breaks in a training session like this. I know everyone's going to get after it, and it is a fun throwdown, but use it as an off-season training session to see what other pacing strategies may work for me.
So you were almost the same exact time, 102 to finish, and about the same rest break. I lost count already.
That was
though.
4.
That was 4? So this set you started to deteriorate a little bit. Did you know right away 4-2 then after that?
Yeah, I knew after the last set of 5 when my dip was hard on the 5th one that I was probably going to do 4 the next set, because if I get stuck really low in the dip, then I can fail it, and I just didn't want to take that risk.
Yeah, failing on a dip or failing on a muscle up in a setting like this is going to be very costly.
So
So
tough.
I think if you're not skilled in muscle ups, take more of a conservative approach early, even if that means like not rushing up. You know, if you're at 155 of a 2-minute interval, maybe not rushing up and taking that one, and not really being hasty in your approach in set 1, 2, if you know that they're going to be a big bottleneck for you.
Right. So what I was trying to focus on for the row was to get my pace to hit 1200 within like 5 to 6 seconds, and then it would kind of fall off into the thousands. I think this is a really good setting to practice that because you are coming off of a rest, so it's a lot easier to have a powerful first few pulls, but that's something that you can lose so much time in by not going for that to start.
Yeah, we saw this format in quarterfinal workout number 1. People were holding a high pace, but they were getting there slowly, and you lose a huge amount of calories. So if you have an opportunity to practice in something like this, I would definitely advise trying to stay explosive on the start of every single one of the rows and all the rounds.
I would suggest every training session. That's just like something that's a mandated thing you have to do. Get to your working pace or slightly above it within 3 to 5 pulls.
Yeah, it'll pay dividends if you can make that your like go-to when you're tired.
So I think I started this on the last round. I decided to wait until the 20-second to jump up instead of 15. That's just something for me, like that 15-second rest into muscle ups can start to feel so fast, and then my set will get so small. So that extra 20 seconds to me made a big difference in being able to still open up with, I think I did 4 here.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
there we go.
I had a thought and I was like, well, let's watch your muscle ups first. For people that are going for a big score, like if this is a home run type workout for you, you're probably still going to, maybe you do the deadlifts unbroken, but you might not take a 15-second transition for the muscle ups. But what I saw in kind of quarterfinal workouts when people were doing quarterfinal workout 3 is that like a 10-second break transition from one movement to the next before a big muscle up is pretty standard for an elite athlete. So Mia was going on a 15, 20-second clock. Maybe you can just push that pace a little bit. So you finish your row fast, do your deadlifts quick, and then there's still like a little bit of a rest break transition in there because you know you're going to do a bigger set.
All right, so 7, 7, 6, and then 5 on that set. It was 4 plus 1. And I think you made a really good call to come off instead of trying to do a double at the end of that. Because
I
even
didn't make
one,
the call. Habdo told me to, and I was just like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good call. Everyone knows this. It's just like a handstand push-up or other things that, like, as soon as you hit that wall of failure, even in a 1 minute turnaround, you'll probably not get as many as you should.
Yeah, and if you fail in round 4, some people might not even get one in round 5.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think it's a good, I mean, you would have, but I think people should be aware of that. Like, don't be too aggressive if you know you don't have the capacity to push this movement.
And then in round 5, you can take the risk and maybe you fail your last one, but at least you know you tried.
Yeah. Did you have a score going into this one in your head of what you wanted to hit after doing 5 and 4?
Yeah, I wanted to get 5 on this one. I figured I was at least going to go for that second rep, and if I fail it, I fail it, but it didn't matter at that point if I...
Cool. And row pace?
Or no, I wanted to get 6. Sorry, 4 or 2.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you wanted to beat your last round?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Was this pace, we are not seeing it because shout out Chris is not filming it this time.
No
What-
Michael
does your
Bay
pace-
this time.
Yeah. What was your pace here?
It was the same. Maybe I pulled at 1,200 for like a few more pulls, but I didn't like try to kick on it. Something like this, if I dig into the row, it's going to buy me, 3 seconds? And then is that going to cost me? It wasn't worth it for me.
Yeah, it's not really worth it, I think, for most people. I think unless
the cost is too high.
Yeah, you got to have great muscle ups to try to push the row pace here.
Yeah, I just made sure I got above my pace quickly, and then kind of waited a few more pulls to, quote, settle in to my pace, and maybe that bought me a couple seconds.
One thing Mia did really well is she got off the deadlifts within a couple of seconds every single round. So being consistent there can really help you. Even if your muscle up's already blown up, knowing that, hey, I'm going to always have a minute or a minute and 3 seconds, that's really, really good for your pacing strategy.
Yeah,
Doing the small sets, it's really helpful to get off the row and know I'm just pulling 3 really quick. So that was...
Yeah, so every round, Mia was pretty much done with the work of the deadlifts between 58 seconds and 102, and then started the muscle ups pretty much right on 120. So very good maintenance of pace all the way through. Was that 4? Mm-hmm. Oh, you crushed it. Yeah.
And this is where you need to make sure you're watching the clock, because you should know how long a muscle up takes you as an athlete, and then game plan it. So like if she wants 2 more, she has to jump up at a certain time.
Right on 51. Let's see if she gets it.
Here's one.
Baby.
Oh, we're counting down. 3, 2, 1.
Oh, would we give it to you, Mia? I don't know. That's pretty close.
I love the effort, though. That was fantastic.
All right, we won't count it here.
What?
All right, everyone. Thanks for watching. Go crush it.
Nice.
I think
count
this
Mia.
clock is 1 second ahead of that clock, because I looked at it and it
And it was
said
good?
59.
All right,
Yeah.
fine. All right, we'll give it to you.
Counting it.
It's a wrap, you know what I'm saying? Your boy Project Ttt in this thing, man. Hey, look, man, thank y'all for watching Training Think Tank YouTube channel. Y'all hit that motherfucking subscribe button, you know what I'm saying? So y'all go ahead, man. Thank y'all for watching the channel, you know what I'm saying? Hit that motherfucking subscribe button. Let it be known what it be known, what it be known, you know what I'm saying? Ttt.